shooting businesses have become the latest victim of debanking, OK, with a third of gun clubs reporting that their accounts were suddenly closed by major high street banks. You may well not go shooting. I have never woken up one morning and had the desire to slaughter a guinea fowl or a deer or anything. However, these are often rural, countryside, traditionally British pursuits, and they are being debanked, even though they are legal. It first hit the headlines, the debanking scandal with Nigel Farage, didn't it? He had his account shut for his political views. This prompted a load of other organisations to be closed. But with these perfectly legal shooting clubs being denied accounts or credit, are we now witnessing the cancellation of British countryside activities? Rebecca, do you think that there is now an attack here on anything that people just deem to be a bit too much of British culture? That's like the fake fox hunting, for example, the drag hunting. That's legal. They're getting cancelled as well. What's going on?
Yeah, banks think that they're the government today. That's the problem. They don't like what the government are doing, so they're doing whatever they want regardless, and they're shutting down whatever they don't like. It's absolutely horrendous, and if there's one thing that we should all have a basic right to, and even, you know, sporting clubs, and to an extent, as long as it's legal, why are we trying to step in their way? It's about control.
I wonder where this is going to end, Peter, for the countryside as a whole, because if we end up, the next step is going to be, well, you are a beef farmer or whatever, and we're pro-vegan or we're pro-animal rights, is what they'll say, and then all of a sudden farmers get debanked.
Well, Patrick, someone who's so strong with their views, you sound terrified so much of the time. You're living in a dystopia, I would say, where everything is getting worse. Britain is a free country, but on the point about shooting, perhaps like you, I can't stand shooting. I've never done it and I never will, and I've not eaten meat for something like 20 or 25 years. But it's a legal activity, and I don't think, unlike Rebecca, it's banks wanting to be the government. I think if banks are going woke, and I'm not sure they are, but quite if banks are going woke...
How much evidence do you need?
The reason they're doing that is for money. It's not they want to rule our lives.
Control.
That's the primary driver of activity of large banks. It's for money, and if they felt public sentiment was blowing the other way, they'd be less woke.
I don't know how they are doing it for money. I think they're doing it for the virtue signalling element of it. I really do think that they're doing it for the virtue signalling element.
Well, I would imagine if you're running a large bank with hundreds of branches around the UK, you see a dotted line between your reputation and your income.
Well, and they got that wrong, didn't they? They got it wrong with Nigel. That would be the thing. I mean, that's going to end up costing them...
Well, they did, and the point about that was because it was fairness. So, again, I disagree with Nigel Farage on pretty much everything, but his views are lawful, so then they were being unfair and hypocritical in cancelling his account. But
talking of this cancellation now, I think we are seeing metropolitan Liberal elites in ivory multi-million-pound towers in the city looking at rural communities and treating them with absolute disdain and saying that hobby that you have enjoyed for generations, oh, we're going to debank you over that because we think it's evil.
I think it's a great shame that we've now entered this age where all companies feel the need to be so politicised and have such a woke agenda. Your job as a business should be to provide the service that you provide that well. And also with banking, what I'd say is unique about this is we need to be able to bank to survive. It's very different to, say, Ferrari saying that we're not going to sell Ferraris to people who have certain views, because that's not an essential. You can't operate as a human
Well, if they stop selling in the Middle East, then they might notice that there's a big... you know, that'd be something. What kind of certain views? Like a lot of the people that...